The headlines for tonight: Vice President Sara Duterte hits Marcos's administration anew, but Malacanang Palace claps back. The Supreme Court directs Ombudsman and Independent Commission on Infrastructure to comment on Zaldico's appeal over flood control-related RAPs. The Department of Foreign Affairs continues to support government agencies in advancing countries' interest amid word war between China and government officials. And the Bureau of Immigration bars Philippine entry of 3 Hells Angels member from New Zealand. Good evening, bringing the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO. This is Eurotv News Thread. The details in our broadcast: clashes between the executive branch surface anew as Vice President Sara Duterte hits Marcos's administration related to the impeachable offenses and plans for the 2028 elections. But Malacanang Palace retaliated against Duterte, citing her own impeachment case. Mia Layagin has more.
Vice President Sara Duterte's most recent public appearance and statements once again stirred the issue between her and her former running mate, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., as she criticized the administration anew. In an interview in Davao, Duterte did not directly commented on the dismissal of the impeachment complaints against the president, saying that she have not read the documents. Duterte, however, said that signing a budget bill with questionable blank pages and budget insertions is an impeachable offense, hinting at her previous claims that Marcos signed the 2025 General Appropriations Bill despite having blank pages. The Vice President also noted that a leader's refusal to disclose their competency to lead, particularly the allegations of drug usage, is enough of a reason to be impeached. This is seemingly a direct jab over Marcos's alleged drug addiction and concerns on his recent health condition. Palace Press Officer and Undersecretary Attorney Claire Castro directly responded to these statements, advising Duterte to focus on her own cases instead. Meanwhile, when asked about her plans for the 2028 presidential elections, Duterte again criticized the administration, saying that there is no certainty that there is still Philippines by the time. This is amid what she cited as having no big developments in the country under the Marcos administration. Castro replied,
Unang-una, masasabi natin ang Vice Presidente ay bulag. Di niya nakikita kung anong ginagawa ng Pangulo. Kanina lamang po ay kababanggit natin kung anong magandang proyekto ng Pangulo patungkol sa ating transportasyon, patungkol sa ating edukasyon. Nananatili siyang bulag dahil malamang ay hindi niya pinanonood or ayaw niyang panoorin kung ano nagaganap na katotohanan sa mga ginagawa ng Pangulo at ng administrasyon ngayon. Nakakalungkot lamang dahil yan ay galawang Duterte, showing the characteristics of an emotional vulture. Isang buitre. Nagpapanggap na concern sa kalagayan ng bansa when in fact, she admitted that she doesn't want to help the president in his projects for the country. Drama, pero walang gawa.
Duterte also said that the administration's moves are suspicious, hinting that there may not have an election in 2028. Castro responded,
Malamang mangyayari yan kung ang isang leader na iboboto sa 2028 ay isang Manchurian candidate. Isang puppet na isang bansa kung saan maaaring ipamigay ang ating yaman, ang ating karapatan sa ibang bansa. Meron po na naging tugon dati, ang dating Pangulong Duterte, na maaari tayo or gawin tayong probinsya ng isang bansa. So, kung isang Manchurian candidate ang ating boboto, baka nga maging probinsya tayo ng isang bansa. Huwag naman po sana.
This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
Following the appeal of former lawmaker turned fugitive Zaldico over the flood control-related charges, the Supreme Court has tasked the Independent Commission on Infrastructure along with the Office of the Ombudsman, to comment on the appeal. Mia Layagin with a report.
The Supreme Court has directed Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla and the Independent Commission for Infrastructure or ICI to comment on the appeal of former lawmaker Zaldico over his flood control-related charges. In a session, SC acted on the petition, giving the Office of the Ombudsman and ICI 10 days since received of notice to file a comment over cost petition for certiorari over the graft and malversation of funds cases filed against him. The petition challenges Ombudsman's resolution, citing a probable cause to charge him over his alleged involvement in the anomaly, particularly on the 289.5 million pesos flood control project in Oriental Mindoro. Co argued that the findings were a grave abuse of discretion and that his rights for due process was violated. Through the petition, Co also expressed prayer for the issuance of a temporary restraining order. Amid the directive, SC did not necessarily give due course or merit to the petition. No TRO was also issued by the High Court. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
The Department of Foreign Affairs assures that diplomacy should be on the top of foreign policy with the public exchanges between China and government officials as well as lawmakers. On Thursday, various senators calls for the removal of Chinese envoy, a statement that were initially rejected by the chief executive. Here's more.
Amid the continuing world war and heated public exchanges between the Chinese embassy in Manila with lawmakers and government officials, the Department of Foreign Affairs remains in support with the government agencies that oppose the interests of Manila. This is the statement made by DFA spokesperson for Maritime Affairs Assistant Secretary Rogelio Villanueva Jr. on Friday's briefing. The official said they will continue to protest the statements made by China countering the claims of Beijing that doesn't reflect on the international rules-based order and its illegal intrusion on the territorial waters of the Philippines.
The department will continue to issue protests and make firm representations of serious concern to the Chinese embassy at appropriate times. And we will consistently assert to them and the entire world the Philippines' sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea.
As part of President Ferdinand Marcos's directives to uphold diplomacy in all disputes, and as a chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN, the DFA noted that they are still lobbying with the members of the bloc for the finalization of the Code of Conduct in the South China Sea, a ruling that would lessen the illegal activities of China in the West Philippine Sea.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive is to place diplomacy at the center of state-to-state engagement.
Several senators have expressed their call to replace Chinese ambassador in Manila after the Senate has passed the resolution seeking to condemn the embassy's statement against lawmakers and government officials. The DFA has refrained from commenting on this as based on the legislative power of the upper chamber. The Malacanang Palace earlier confirmed that a chief executive has rejected the call to replace a Chinese diplomat. The DFA stands that they are willing to initiate the dialogue with the officials from Beijing and the Philippines to resolve the differences. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
The Philippine Bureau of Immigration denied entry of 3 New Zealand nationals identified as members of the Hells Angels, an international outlaw gang. The 3 members were intercepted at Ninoy Aquino International Airport after being flagged by Interpol for the alleged involvement of transnational organized crime and multiple prior criminal convictions. Mia Layagin returns.
The Bureau of Immigration has denied the entry to the Philippines of 3 foreign nationals from New Zealand flagged over alleged ties with an international criminal organization. BI reported that Alexander Michael Shimalkuchen and Stanley Savinata Sungutaranga arrived at Naiya night of February 7, while Ethan Shipper arrived at February 9. All 3 were holders of New Zealand passports but arrived in the country via a flight from China. BI Interpol Chief Peter de Guzman noted that the passengers went on their verification process after they hit the Interpol system. Subsequent confirmation revealed that they are all subjects of a diffusion notice due to alleged involvement with criminal organization. An Interpol diffuse notice is a direct request for cooperation and information sharing between member countries to locate and/or arrest an individual. The 3 individuals were tagged as members of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, a gang under international monitoring over alleged involvement with organized criminal activities. This is still aside from the 3's multiple prior convictions in various countries. The Philippine Immigration Act bars the admission and entry of foreign nationals who may pose risk and threat to the public and national security. In line with this, BI issued a stern warning that Philippines will not serve as a safe haven or transit point for members of transnational criminal organizations. BI also assured further cooperation with Interpol and other international counterparts to intensify border control against individuals linked to organized crimes internationally. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. spearheaded the groundbreaking ceremony of the Bonifacio Global City or BGC and Kalayaan Avenue stations, marking a pivotal advancement in the development of the Philippines' first underground mass transit system. This milestone highlights the administration's commitment to easing urban congestion by connecting major business hubs through the Metro Manila Subway project, which is expected to significantly reduce travel time and boost economic productivity across the National Capital Region. Graciela Corazon tells us the report.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the groundbreaking and inspections of 2 Metro Manila Subway project in Taguig City. The Metro Manila Subway project or MMSP will be the first Philippine subway system with length of 33.1 kilometers. It is expected to carry about 5,000 passengers daily and will have an end-to-end travel time with 46 minutes. According to President Marcos, the public will experience faster and more comfortable travel once the project is completed. The underground stations like Kalayaan Avenue stations located under 11th Avenue and Uptown Open Parking, and the BGC stations located along McKinley Parkway between Serendra and Market Palengke. Both stations are located within Bonifacio Global City or BGC Taguig City. CP-105 will use for the tunnel boring machine or TBM to build the tunnels and use to cut and cover method for the stations. The project will take approximately 5 years and 7 months to begin construction. Meanwhile, it has 17 stations running from Venezuela City to Parañaque City, ending in Bicutan in Taguig City, and the connection to Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA Terminal 3 in Pasay City. The project is funded by the Japan International Corporation Agency under the loan agreement. This is Graciela Corazon for Eurotv News.
Around 750,000 sacks of milled rice will be auctioned by the National Food Authority, as these rice were stuck on the warehouses for about 3 months. Vanessa Cleophas tells us more.
The National Food Authority or NFA will begin auctioning approximately 750,000 sacks of aging milled rice on February 20 of this year. These are rice stocks that have been stored in NFA warehouses for 3 months or more. In an interview, NFA Administrator Larry Lacson assured that the rice to be auctioned has undergone laboratory testing and is fit for human consumption. A minimum of 5,000 bags or less can be bid on purchased by each buyer. The price of the aging milled rice depends on its age, 16 pesos to 25 pesos per kilo for rice stored 3 to 6 months, while 22 pesos per kilo for rice 18 months or older. According to NFA, anyone can participate in the auction, whether a business or individual, as long as they present the proper documents. The NFA expects that all rice offered for auction on February 20 will be sold. The proceeds are estimated to reach 912 million pesos, which will be used to cover the agency's operational expenses, including the purchase of new unhusked rice, salaries of personnel, and other costs. However, if the rice is not immediately sold, it will be offered again to local government units, government agencies, and government-owned or controlled corporation. Meanwhile, under existing law, rice stored for more than 3 months in warehouses must be auctioned to prevent it from becoming unfit for human consumption. This measure also aims to free up warehouse space to accommodate newly harvested rice from farmers. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
A recent social weather station survey reveals that many Filipinos who have faced infidelity in their relationship still maintain the belief that trust can be restored through efforts and commitments. While the experience of betrayal is deeply painful, the data suggests a cultural inclination toward reconciliation and the possibility of healing over permanent separation. Friza Lopez has more.
We often say that trust is like a glass. Once broken, it is difficult to put back together, especially between two people in love. However, a study conducted by Social Weather Station shows that 4 out of 10 Filipinos, or 43%, believe that trust can be still restored after experiencing cheating in a relationship. Meanwhile, 36% believe that trust can no longer be repaired once broken. Another 19% remain undecided. The survey also found that 27% of Filipinos said they have personally witnessed or experienced infidelity in the relationship, while 72% said they have never experienced cheating. The study further identified the types of infidelity experienced by respondents. 11% reported experiencing physical cheating, where their partner engaged in sexual or intimate activities with another person. Another 11% said they experienced emotional cheating. Some Filipinos also reported catching their partners communicating with someone else inappropriately. 8% said they experienced various forms of cheating from their partner, and what may seem like harmless gestures to some can also be considered betrayal. 4% of Filipinos reported experiencing micro-cheating. Examples include liking or leaving inappropriate comments on someone else's photos, denying the existence of a relationship, giving a personal phone number to someone known to be attracted to them, and similar behaviors. There is no valid justification for infidelity in a relationship. As a popular lyric goes, mahirap talagang magmahal ng syota ng iba. To avoid heartbreak and emotional distress, the message remains clear. Stay loyal and faithful to your partner. This is Friza Lopez for Eurotv News.
The ambulance driver that were caught in EDSA busway are now facing various violations. This is after the Transportation Department found that the ambulance were used as a shuttle service traversing the EDSA bus carousel. Vanessa Cleofas returns.
The Department of Transportation Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation, or DOTR-SAIC, discovered that ambulance illegally passing through the Santolan Station section of the EDSA bus carousel was empty of any medical equipment inside. Instead of oxygen tanks, stretchers, and other first aid equipment for responding to emergencies, they found seats similar to those in shuttle services or vans that look like a passenger vehicle. The driver of the ambulance admitted that the vehicle was actually being used as a shuttle service for passengers going for hospital checkups. According to Special Operation Group Head Rayson De La Torre, all ambulances such as patient transport vehicles or PTV are supposed to be reserved only for emergency operations. Basic life support equipment and first aid supplies should not be removed from these types of vehicle. The driver now faces violations such as disregarding traffic sign for illegally passing through the EDSA busway and was issued a temporary operator's permit. He also failed to present the original official receipt or certificate of registration, resulting in a failure to carry OR or CR violation. In total, 5 ambulances were stopped by the DOTR-SAIC, including the one found being used as a shuttle service. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
In a move to enforce diversity over the LRT, the Light Rail Manila Corporation has launched its Workforce Inclusivity Program. Catherine Landicho tells us more.
The Light Rail Manila Corporations, or LRMC, has launched a new workforce inclusivity program that aims at opening employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. The initiative, called Project PWD, or Promoting Workforce Diversity, seeks to integrate individuals with special needs into the frontline workforce of LRT1. Under the program, PWD beneficiaries will be assigned as station service aides. They will work part-time for 4 hours under or day under 5-month contract. Their primary role will be to serve as ambulant ticket sellers, helping ease long queues and improve passengers' flow in station, particularly during peak hours. The initiative was spearheaded by LRMC President and CEO Enrico Benipayo, who emphasized that the program reflects the company's commitment to equal opportunity for all. He said that the project not only provides meaningful employment but also promotes dignity and empowerment among PWDs. In addition to advancing inclusivity, LRMC noted that the added workforce is expected to enhance efficiency and make commuting more convenient and comfortable for passengers. The project was implemented in partnership with the Manila LGU through the signing of memorandum between the city government and LRMC. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
Philippine authorities revealed that 2 Luzon-based congressmen are under investigation for allegedly masterminding massive illegal cigarette manufacturing syndicate. These politicians operate as financiers, reportedly oversee an entire ecosystem of illicit trade that was recently exposed during a multi-billion peso raid in Mexico, Pampanga. Henry Nicolas tells us the report.
Following simultaneous operations targeting the illegal tobacco trade, Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla said government operations are aimed at dismantling large-scale illegal operations, not punishing small retailers. According to Remulla, these targets include distributors, manufacturers, and smugglers who evade taxes. This results in an estimated 30 billion pesos in lost tax revenue annually, funds that should be allocated to healthcare for Filipinos. The operations conducted in active coordination with the Philippine National Police, Department of Justice, Department of Agriculture, and Bureau of Customs led to the seizure of approximately 45,000 packs of untaxed cigarettes.
Ang nakuha namin ay 45,000 packs. 40,000 packs. Ang basic tax due niyan ay 3.5 million. Kasama penalties, 36 million. Total tax liability is 40 million.
Remulla emphasized that small retailers are not the main targets. The campaign is focused on bigger fishes, particularly organized networks that manufacture, smuggle, and distribute untaxed products nationwide.
We're not anti-poor. We're anti-illegal tobacco. Kung equate ito sa war on drugs, dati, pinapatay nila yung mga pedicab driver, lalagyan ng drugs, tas accomplishment na yon. We do not consider this an accomplishment. Kasi kawawa naman yung mga taon to eh. But, yung big fish, yung manufacturers, smugglers, distributors, lahat yan, isa-isay namin hanggang matapos namin lahat.
The Secretary also revealed a recent operation in Central Luzon where an illegal cigarette factory was raided. He noted that 2 politicians were involved in the operation and tried to talk to him, though he declined to name the 2 politicians. According to Remulla, the 2 individuals attempted to negotiate or reach out to him, but he refused, stated they are simply waiting for the completion of the case build-up before taking further action.
Reach out na sa akin, gusto daw ko kausapin. We'll wait. Hintayin na lang natin hanggang matapos namin yung investigative work namin. But we're fairly certain na involved yung dalawang hindi pala Northern, Central Luzon politicians.
This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
Switzerland is preparing for a national referendum to decide whether to impose a strict 10 million person cap on its permanent resident population. This initiative, driven by concerns over infrastructure, strain, and environmental impact, would require the government to take urgent measures such as restricting immigrations if the population nears that threshold. Son Santiago reports.
Switzerland is set to hold a nationwide referendum on a proposal that seeks to limit the country's population to 10 million. The initiative, called No to a 10 Million Switzerland, was introduced by the right-wing Swiss People's Party or SVP. The measure aims to amend the constitution to ensure that the country's permanent resident population does not exceed 10 million before 2050. The SVP says it is concerned about Switzerland's rapid population growth, arguing that it has placed significant pressure on housing, infrastructure, and public services. The party also claims that rising population numbers have contributed to higher rents and wage pressures. If approved, the government would be required to act once the population reaches 9.5 million. Proposed measures could include tightening restrictions on new arrivals, such as asylum seekers and family members of foreign residents. Should the population exceed 10 million, authorities could impose even stricter steps, including potentially scrapping Switzerland's free movement agreement with the European Union. The free movement arrangement allows individuals to enter, reside, and work across participating countries. Switzerland's population currently stands at around 9 million, with government data showing that approximately 27% of residents are foreign nationals. Under Switzerland's system of direct democracy, a proposal must gather at least 100,000 signatures within 18 months to qualify for a public vote. The referendum on the initiative is scheduled for June 14. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
The Suze Coffee Thunderbell secured their first victory of the 2026 PBL All-Filipino Conference, outlasting Akari charges in a grueling 5-set thriller. Veteran Jovelyn Gonzaga and Chini Arroyo lead the Thunderbells as they snap a 2-game losing streak in a successfully fended off a 24-point performance from Akari's Ivy Laksina at the Phil Eco Oil Center. Kyle Basa has the sports news.
Zeus Coffee Thunderbells beat Akari Chargers in a Thursday night showdown in Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference. The game was held in a 5-set thriller in which the crowd in the Phil Oil Center were roaring at its loudest to cheer their teams. In the first 2 sets, it was tied at 1-1. The two teams showed grit, determination, and most importantly, pride. Akari managed to claim the 3rd set, wherein they tried to finish the game early. However, the Thunderbells refused to wave the white flag. They were more disciplined, coming in the 4th set on executing their plays to further advance in the deciding set. They were calm in their planned strategies and consistent in their trust with each other. In a matter of few possessions, they have completely turned the table around, and they have won the game. American import Anna De Beer led her team to victory, including her 33 points with 12 excellent receptions. The final score of the game is 16-25, 25-18, 18-25, 25-23, and 15-12. Zeus is now back in the winning category with a 1-2 record, while Akari is still winless with a 0-2 record in the elimination round of the league. This is Kyle Basa reporting for Eurotv News.
The Season 2 of highly anticipated return of One Piece series on the big screen thrilled fans with the newly released teaser. Samarta says more.
The highly anticipated return of one of Netflix live-action series One Piece has thrilled fans as its official trailer has finally been unveiled. On Netflix YouTube account, they shared a 3-minute video for Season 2 of the series titled One Piece Into the Grand Line.
Together an amazing crew, made it to the Grand Line, and now we're one step closer to our dreams.
Among the characters in the said series are Inuyaki Godoy as Monkey D. Luffy, Emily Rada as Nami, Makenyo as Roro Noa Zoro, Jacob Romero as Usopp, and Taz Skylar as Sanji. It can be recalled that Season 1 of One Piece was last released on August 31, 2023 with a total of 8 episodes. Meanwhile, One Piece Into the Grand Line Season 2 will premiere on March 10, 2026. This is Martos for Eurotv Showbiz News.
That's the latest news for tonight. You may visit EuroTVPH.com for more news and information. You can also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via an Extreme channel. I am Alvin Pelobello. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv News Thread. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone. Happy weekend and happy Hearts Day.